Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is Malakut here. So it looks like you guys are really enjoying my esoteric Christianity stuff. And my goal, just for you guys know, is just to, I know there's other spiritual people out there who are searchers or decoders. So my goal is just to share with you guys information I find, and hopefully this will help you in your search, and then we can all grow together. Okay. So I want to talk about when Jesus says, I'm the Alpha and the Omega, what does he mean? So I just want to go ahead and cover that in esoteric Christianity. So if you've been following my videos in esoteric Christianity, we know that there's cycles, right? And then those cycles, based on the Kali Yuga in Hinduism and the ages in Greek, we know that there's cycles. So time is a cycle. So if you look at all of our ancients, we know that the ancients know that there's cycles, and that's why their timeline was a circle. Now, if you look at the Kali Yuga and the ages in Greek, basically they're telling us that there's a time where we have consciousness, we're fully awakened. So the fully awakened man, we don't know what that is, but basically you're connected from all your chakras are connected, you're open, you're centered in your body, you're manifesting in your body, your third eye and your crown chakra is connected to the upper world. So therefore you are in communication with the upper worlds. So therefore you can communicate on behalf of the upper worlds to the lower worlds. So that is what happens when we're in transition from one age to another age. So based on the Kali Yuga and also on the Greek ages, we go through these ages. So when you understand the Bible, they talk in ages. So when Jesus says, I'm the Alpha and the Omega, what he's saying is he's going to be shown in the beginning of the cycle, and he'll come at the end of the cycle. So he kind of comes in to start the cycle, because Jesus and Mary Magdalene, they don't come all the time. They only come in just for the end of the cycle. So when everything gets reset, they basically come in just to restart everyone's consciousness again. And because everyone's asleep and everyone's not awakened, they have to kind of like reel people back into their body. So Christianity is about getting to Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, getting back into your body, manifesting, and getting to your original state. So when you understand the original state is talking about Adam and Eve. So Adam and Eve, here we go. I have Adam and Eve. So when you understand Kabbalah and you understand the tree of life, in Adam and Eve, right? So Adam and Eve is basically the beginning, Alpha, right? The beginning of the cycle. The Omega, the end of a cycle, right? So what he's talking about is the Alpha and Omega is the beginning of a cycle and the end of a cycle. So at the beginning of the cycle, we know there's Adam and Eve. In Adam and Eve, that's the subconscious and the conscious. The subconscious is Eve. The conscious is Adam. So in essence, what they're telling you is they're one person, but they got divided into two. So in essence, I think they're kind of like soulmates or twin flames. So they're one person. Because they were they lost their consciousness, they got divided. So what happened was Eve, the subconscious, fell, not because of sin, because it was time in the cycle. She fell into quarantine, which is the material world, which is Malakut. Christ stayed in the upper world, which is heaven. So therefore, when you hear of Christ, he doesn't take the path Eve does. He takes the path of being in the upper world. So in essence, you can kind of say the cycle is like a love story. They come in together, and what happens is when they lose their consciousness, Eve goes down to the Malakut, which is earth. Christ stays in the upper world. So there's two ways of that. They're basically the divine feminine, divine masculine. The divine feminine is subconscious. The divine masculine is a consciousness. The divine feminine learns from the tree of knowledge. So she goes into the holographic universe, understands herself. She basically takes a path the human does. So she follows their path so she can learn from experience. So she goes into holographic universe. She takes a path that the people does, right? This is basically the subconscious. She learns through her trials and errors. She realizes she doesn't have a subconscious. Then she learns through good and evil. So basically good and evil is your conscious and your subconscious. By manifesting in the holographic universe, your conscious and your subconscious, good and evil, you can interact with good and evil through the holographic universe to understand yourself, right? And then she has to do some shadow work to clean out all that karma that she created. And usually sometimes what they do in the physical world is they do Kundalini awakening through sex magic. I don't agree with that. I think people should do it through the tree of life, because you don't have to deal with no creepy dudes, okay? And then, so she has to deal with shadow work, dealing with her angels and demons. Her angel is her higher self. Her demon is her subconscious. So her conscious and her conscious and her subconscious are going to be kind of trying to balance each other. So that's Eve's path. So she took the fall. She went to Malakut. She lost her consciousness. She basically tried to find it. that's hers. The consciousness, which is Christ, he wanted to learn from the tree of life, which I agree, that's the best way to do it. You don't want to do sex magic, guys. You don't. Seriously, there's too many creepy guys out there. So with tree of life, you don't have to do Kundalini activation. You can actually learn through Gnosis, which is learning the Hebrew alphabet, learning the tree of life. The tree of life is the map of the flow from how the upper world goes down to Malakut. You understand the flow, you get Gnosis, which is you're basically starting from the crown chakra. So when you understand from this, you're starting from you basically learn from activating clean your crown chakra up, going down. This path is the opposite. You go from Kundalini going up. Jesus and Mary Magdalene says, take this because you're not going to have to do sex with people. Believe me, that's creepy. You don't want to do that. So you learn from the flow. You get Gnosis because you activate your crown chakra first. And then from the crown chakra, then you go down, right? And then you want to become the embodiment. So eventually when you learn from your crown chakra, you clean up your conscious. Your conscious then delegates to your subconscious. Now they're symbiotic, and then you kind of embody the teachings. And from the embodying the teachings, because you're waked up from the crown chakra down, now you can start articulating, and you don't have to do the sex magic that's associated with the tree of knowledge. So even if you do go down into the tree of Malakut, you can still learn from the tree of life. The tree of life is much easier because, believe me, you're just studying, and then from there you can get epiphanies. Here you have to do go into it, analyze your subconscious. You can get caught up in a lot of people who are going to take advantage of you. So this is how it is. The alpha and the omega. Christ, subconscious, conscious, divided. Two different experiences. One in Malakut, one in the upper world. Come back together. Symbiotic relationship. Awakening. And that's my video. I hope you like it, and see you in my next. Peace.